First of all, I'd like to thank Muscle Cars and Classics and the Tecumseh Road Moose Lodge for stepping in to keep the Dream Cruise Classic going. Premier, the new owners of Dan Cain's, were not able to host the event this year. Here's a look at the show. Let's start with Derek's beautiful 67 Riviera. These were grand cars, almost custom looking, but mass produced.
And I happened to come across this car and I couldn't take my eyes off it. And I had to go check it out. It was out of town and it kind of just fell into my lap. It was certainly not my first choice. I was looking for a different vehicle, but this one just took my eye away. I couldn't say no to it. It was beautiful. This car was all done about 12 years ago. Custom paint job, custom exhaust, 17-inch wheels, Grunin on Foose rims. It's the first year for the 430 motor. Runs great. It's been taken care of. We're enjoying the car. It runs great.
For 67, they had so many incredible features.
The lines on them, the hips they have, and the lines and the metal and the chrome. My goodness, they're gorgeous cars. Gorgeous cars. They got beautiful lines to them. Well, the interior was all redone as well. He had it redone in leather. It's white leather. The white really makes it pop inside here. It's just a nice, cool car.
To my tired old eyes, the styling of this Riviera is first rate. Here's another car that will grab your attention. It's Jack's customized 51 Mercury. This is the body style that customizers love to get their hands on. Jack bought the car in Sarnia about a year ago and it was already done up. It's got Frenched headlights, a Packard grille, custom paint, dummy spots, fully reupholstered original seating, automatic transmission, digital dash, air conditioning, louvered hood, and 351 Cleveland. I could go on and on. Jack says next year he plans to add airbags to raise and lower the car. No trailer queen here. Jack tells us this is a daily driver. He's out cruising every chance he gets. One of our favorite people is Denise. She's owned this Frontenac for a while now, and this year decided to change the flat black color to semi-gloss with a red top.
Well, I saw it on a Ranchero and I really liked it. So I just thought I'd add the red and give it a little bit of a, Canadian, red.
Lots of help here from Giorgio. This Frontenac is a one-year orphan car, only produced in Canada and only in 1960. This is Paul's 73 Corvette, powered by a 454.
Always wanted a Corvette. I seen this one, I thought it looked nice. So I ripped it all apart and I put about $17,000 in it in 2 years. So now it's basically like brand new.
Norm was here with his Model A. He and his wife get a lot of cruising enjoyment out of this car and are at most of our car shows. This car is actually a Shea rather than an original. It's running a Pinto drivetrain. These cars were the brainchild of Harry Shea and were made from 79 to 82 and sold throughout the U.S. at Ford dealerships. Here's Fred's 47 Chevy. He bought the car fully customized as you see it here. The custom paint job is at least 20 years old. It's got a comfortable Cadillac interior and the hood opens forward with a touch of his keychain. Too many custom touches to go into now. There's nothing custom about Ralph's 36 Chrysler. It's as original as can be. This is a beautiful car and kept in outstanding condition. About a year ago, Ralph installed a new comfortable interior that's true to original, and also had the dash and other metal parts finished in natural wood grain. It's powered by a flathead 6-cylinder engine. Here's Hal with his 71 MG. This is a cool little sports car. Hal is a sports car guy. He found the car in London.
Well, it was something that I wanted ever since I was a kid. Back in the 60s and 70s, these cars were a lot more popular than they are now, of course. And the bug for owning this car bit, and it was just one of those things that I've always wanted. And fortunately, just several years ago, I had the opportunity to buy it.
It's powered by a 1600cc engine.
It's an awful lot of fun to drive, and we get comments on the car regularly.
So far, there's been no trouble with the Lucas.
None so far. Again, Lucas, the Prince of Darkness, of course. But up till now, no issues at all.
This is a 64 Dodge Polara with push-button transmission. Chrysler named the Polara after the Polaris Star. These were often Chrysler's muscle cars. The Chevy Camaro was the official pace car for the 53rd running of the Indianapolis 500. Now, I'm not saying this was the actual pace car. This model is powered by a 350 engine. Here's a look at the interior. Just so everyone knows, this 67 model is not a real Shelby. Rob is the owner, and he says it's a fun car to drive. It's got a cool-looking roll bar and a 4-speed transmission. He says it runs and drives great. Now, here's Roy with his 67 Austin Healey built in 1966. 67 was the last year for Austin Healey. This one is powered by a 3000cc engine and really moves. These cars are now very rare, and prices are rising quickly for good ones. Here's our friend George's 63 split-window Corvette. You know, when he purchased this car years ago, it was smashed up in the front end and passenger side. Nevertheless, he knew it was going to be a rare car.
When I seen this was for sale, I said, you know, that car one day is going to be worth some money. So I bought it and put it in my garage, sat there 41 years, and out the garage she came in 08, brought it to Chatham, sat there and brought it back home on my birthday in 016.
George says he plans to pass this car down to his kids. It's got the original 327 engine and 4-speed. This car is one of two 1940 Ford Coupes owned by Kenny, and both are really portable dog houses. You see, Kenny owns a giant St. Bernard who loves to go cruising as much as Kenny does. He bought this car from Woody a while back. It's powered by a clean-looking 305 engine. This car features automatic transmission, tilt steering, air conditioning, and a lot more. Here is Ed's 1941 Willys Repro. Nice split window in the back. It's powered by a 454 engine. He bought it on eBay about 5 years ago. I asked Ed why he bought this car.
It's a Willys.
I guess that about sums it up. It is, after all, a Willys. This car is not a racer. It's a show-and-go cruiser. Daryl has owned this 65 Buick Riviera Grand Sport for coming up to 30 years. This car has every possible accessory, including a big block 425 with dual factory 4-barrel carbs. Daryl always teases me about having too many pictures of his car, but hey, it's a great car and why not? Here are more cars at the show. Gene's 72 Olds convertible. I think he told me his son picked this car out for him. Carrie's 78 Malibu. It's packing a whopping 800 horsepower engine and fitted out and ready for drag racing. Only thing is, Carrie doesn't drag race this car. He and Joanne just drive and enjoy. Hey, here's Ron's 2003 Corvette with a supercharged engine. Runs great and gets plenty of thumbs up. Just arriving is Antonio with his 58 Buick. Just look at the chrome and stainless on this car, sometimes called a lead sled. This car is really a beauty. Antonio has many classic cars. This is just one of them. Here's Larry's, Rick's, private joke, 1932 5-window coupe. Great little hot rod, and Rick's always fun to be around. He's a regular at many of our cruise nights and car shows. This is Joe's baby blue 64 Cadillac hardtop. Joe likes big cars. He also likes the fact that this is the last of the Caddies with fins. But like many, there's a sentimental reason attached.
Because my dad had a 1961 and I always wanted one. And it's the last year of the fins, so it's an awesome car.
This is a 68 Monaco. This car looks original with nothing changed. It's running a 440 engine. For its age, the interior looks pretty good. Perhaps some upgrades have been made after all. Hard to believe this interior is 50 years old. Joe's 66XL. He bought the car years ago so his son would have something to drive back and forth to school. Now it's his personal cruiser. It's powered by a 390 engine. And this is Mike's Comet convertible, also in excellent shape. Joe and Mike are old friends. They're just a couple of good old boys sitting behind their cars and eating French fries and talking cars. What a way to spend the afternoon. The nice thing about the Moose Lodge is there's plenty of shade from the sun. Boys and girls together sitting around telling stories and having fun. Here are a few more cars. There's Don's 1940 Ford Rat Rod, Keith's Mercury pickup, Dave Chevelle with a 454 and factory 4-speed, Shannon's 5-window Chevy Coupe. He's busy eating French fries. We'll talk to him a bit later. There's Rio's 1934 Ford, great-looking flames on the side. And here's Len's fabulous 47 Cadillac that he bought from Al and painted black. What a nice-looking Ford pickup. And here's Gene's 55 Pontiac. Art's rare Durango. Very few of these cars were made between 79 and 82. They were a special order Ford Futura. Everybody out eating French fries. Here's that neat-looking GTO I was singing about a week ago. This car is nice and clean. Also looks like it might be a blast to drive. Here's Dan's nifty little hot rod. Hard to believe this car is a VW, and it's all hand customized. Great work, Dan. Now more walking around, just looking at cars. Remember earlier when I mentioned Shannon and his 5-window Chevy Coupe? Well, here's a little more about him and his car. Shannon heard about this car and had nothing better to do that day, and so he drove to West Lorne to have a look at it. It's got no power steering, it's got no air conditioning, it's got no heat. It does have power windows, all new gauges, automatic transmission, comfortable seats, and a nice-looking engine. And he bought it. Interesting looking taillights and body style. But Shannon has a number of cars.
I got a 68 Mustang convertible, 73 Dodge Challenger hardtop, 86 Camaro T-roof. Now I got the 32 Chevy Coupe.
Again, here's Len's 47 Cadillac that he bought from Al. He's now painted the car black, but the Caddy still retains its custom interior and taillights. This is Bobby and his impressive-looking 1969 Cadillac. Bobby's owned this car for quite a while. It's completely stock. And here's Don's 79 Trans Am. Don tells me they must have run out of 400 engines at the factory, and so they installed a 403 Olds transmission in this car. He says this is a Smokey and the Bandit model. Now George, with his 1964 Malibu SS, What a great car. It's running a big block 454. George says he bought the car to restore it. He wanted to have a project. Tony's little hot rod. He has a blast driving this car. Is now getting estimates to have the rear bumper of his 1958 Cadillac Eldorado convertible re-chromed after his accident. Tony has a way of making everything right. Well, that's a look at the Moose Lodge Car Show. There may be an outside chance they'll hold it in this location every year. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, we'll see you at the car shows and cruise nights.